What's going on YouTube? It's Sankey here and I make videos on the stock market. Guys, I've got a jam-packed one for you today, but before I get cracking, please check out that link down below, sign up to Trading 212 and grab yourself a free share of stock worth up to $100. Now without further ado, let's jump into the portfolio and see what's going on. Up on screen is my YouTube growth portfolio within touching distance of £50,000. Now if you've been rocking with the channel, you know that this portfolio has been flying this week. That's because the strategy that we've been putting into place over the last few days, over the last few weeks is paying off very nicely now. As a lot of the plays that I've been putting you guys are on, the two plays over the weekend, that's Ring Central and Twilio, they're now in the green. The 3 penny stocks that I gave you over the weekend, they're doing fantastic, and the plays that I'm sharing with the guys over on the Patreon like Square are doing very well. That's why I come on here each and every day to share this portfolio with you guys, so you can jump in the same plays as me. We can get your portfolios booming, right? We're going to get your portfolio from your first 1,000 to 2,000, then from 10 to 20, and eventually from 50 to 100. We're building wealth over here. So a lot of you would have seen that QuantumScape, that's ticker symbol QS, is on an absolute tear this week. They're doing very well, up over 25% on just today alone, right? And it looks like nothing is going to stop their momentum. But there's a couple of things that I want to draw to your attention. But before I do, if you don't know QuantumScape, they're a solid state electric vehicle battery manufacturer, and they aim to solve a lot of the problems with electric vehicles because their technology is going to allow a lot of the battery, 80% of the battery, to be charged in a short space of time, 15 minutes. This means it's going to be cheaper to run an electric vehicle, and it's going to be able to go for a longer distance on one single charge. But the key thing I want to draw to your attention with QuantumScape is they're not going to go into production until about 2025. This is a long time ahead, right? All right, guys, so check me out. Up on screen is what I call my EV cheat sheet, right? This is where I track all of the electric vehicle plays, and it basically allows me to spot the cheap EV companies, highlight the expensive ones so I can wait for a better entry point and load up before there's any catalyst, right? So it's a useful tool that I use each and every day. I just want to look at QuantumScape, right? Now, in terms of the valuation, right, the relative valuation of QuantumScape on a price to sales basis, they are standing at 149 times price to sales. And this number is based off a 2026 revenue, right? So we know they're pre-revenue right now. They hope to start generating some revenue towards 2025, and this is their 2026 revenue number. So you can see it is very, very high. You know it's high because a competitor, another electric vehicle battery manufacturer called Microvast, which is merging with a SPAC, Tuscan Holdings, is currently standing at 10 times. 10 times, guys, is a good range. It's a good price point for a battery manufacturer, and you can see QuantumScape is exceptionally high, well over 10 times the price. And just today alone, they've added over 10 billion to their market cap with their 25% rise in their share price. So you guys have to be careful when approaching QuantumScape right now. I know it can look appealing, so want to jump on, ride that wave, because it doesn't look like the momentum is going to stop. But guys, you have to remember, they're coming out with they're going to start producing revenue in 2025. That means they have 5 years to try and deliver for us investors, to maintain that share price. Otherwise, it's a long way down for QuantumScape, a long way down. This company can drop below 50 if they're not going to deliver any news for us. But guys, I do want to highlight Microvast as a potential play to jump into versus QuantumScape. Now, they're trading at a nice 10 times price to sales versus 149 times forward price to sales of QuantumScape. Now, Microvast, they're a big business, right? They've been going since about 2006, and they're set to do about 100 million in revenue this year. This is fantastic. Their batteries are used in over 28,000 vehicles, and they've had a lot of contracts in the past. Now, I do see an opportunity for a big uplift in Microvast share price. Now, this company is still under 1 billion in market cap, so there is a potential for this to rise further. Now, it can rise for a number of different reasons. So they come out and say they've won another big contract to provide a lot more batteries for different vehicles, guys, this share price is going to rise. Also, if they come out and say that they've made R&D improvements, their batteries can charge quicker, then guys, this also is going to increase their share price quite significantly. So they are very close to my entry point. I've got a buy zone there of about 14 times. Right now, they're not trading too much higher than that. So this is a potential one to invest in. So guys, as I do say to you, you do want to diversify your EV plays. You don't just want the cars, that's the NIO, the Teslas. You also want your charging stations like a Switchback Energy. You also want your battery manufacturers as well. And Microvast fits that gap very nicely. So guys, do look into Microvast and do potentially add them to your portfolio, because this could be a good one going into 2021. Now, in terms of my price target for the end of 2021, guys, I do see Microvast having a price tag of $40. I do think there's going to be a lot of R&D improvements on the way. They've got a lot of cash. They've been in the business for a lot of time. And as the world moves more and more into EV, switching out of the gas vehicles, there's going to be a lot of potential for Microvast to provide. So guys, $40 price tag for next year. So if you've been rocking with the channel for a while now, you know what time of the day is. This question of the day time. Now this question comes from Edgar. The question is, what do you think about NIO guidance? We need a big month this month to meet it. If we don't, is there a chance of a possible pullback? So thank you very much for sending in this question. And guys, I must say you guys have been fantastic with the questions and comments recently. So keep lighting up that comment section for me. Now I think this is a really good question because it's forward looking, right? I always tell you guys to look into the future, and that's going to help you base your investment decisions today, right? So as Edgar rightly said, NIO are going to have to put it out of the bag for us investors this month, right? So let me break it down for you. In October, NIO did 5,055 deliveries. Then in November, they had a 5% increase to 5,291 deliveries. Now they have come out and said in their Q3 reports that they are expecting to do between 16,500 and 17,000 deliveries for Q4. That means in December, they need to do 6,154 deliveries. This is a massive jump of about 16% versus November delivery numbers. Now remember, the jump between October and November was only 5%. So the question is, can they actually do over 6,000 deliveries, right? That'll be the first time they cross the 6,000 delivery mark. Now, if they don't do those 6,000 deliveries, I do think it could cause a lot of volatility, downwards pressure in that share price. Now on the surface, getting to that 6,000 deliveries per month mark might look a bit tricky for NIO, because we know that their monthly capacity is around 5,000 vehicles. But in their November delivery note, they did come out and say that they're looking to accelerate their production capacity in December to meet increased order volume, right? And I do think that they're working hard on doing that. And I do think they'll be able to produce more than 6,000 vehicles this month. Now, deliveries aren't the only number to track here. It doesn't tell the full picture. Now, back in October, a Citi analyst actually came out and said that they believe NIO has a backlog of about 7,000 vehicles, right? And this is huge. So getting to that 6,000 delivery number, I do think they're just going to work through their order backlog as well as current orders. And I do think they should easily be able to surpass the 6,000 delivery mark. Now, the December delivery numbers are likely to come out on the 1st of January. So I want to make sure you guys have that date in your calendar, because it could be a potential catalyst for that NIO share price. Now, do bear in mind, they have got a pretty high limit to reach. And because we're expecting, they've already come out and said that they should do between 16,500 and 17,000 orders for this quarter. Really, to move that share price, NIO need to be getting past the 6,700 delivery numbers mark, right? Because then that will surprise us investors. People get very excited and start pouring more capital into NIO, and then that share price will increase. Now, if it does do the lower limit of 6,154 or somewhere around that, then I don't think it would move that share price too materially. We're expecting it too much, and we are pricing in a lot of the good news like that into the share price already. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Please hit a like, it really helps the channel out. If you're new, do hit that subscribe button. I post each and every day. Guys, Apple's has some fantastic news. So if you're an Apple holder, you're also doing very well today. Guys, I did say that Apple's about to break out of consolidation, and they have done just that. Off the back of news of a potential iCar coming, and there's a lot of potential catalysts going into 2021 that's going to boost Apple's share price. Now, my next video is going to cover that and go into a little bit more detail. So guys, as I always say, check into the channel each and every day. The stock market is rapidly moving, and you never want to miss a beat. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.